In this tutorial in Microsoft Word, we'd like to show you how to use the Mailmerge function to print a unique address on a stack of envelopes. Often we use this in order to create a sheet or more of labels, but here we're going to print the address directly on a series of envelopes. Now this assumes that you have a printer that can handle a stack of envelopes either in a feeder or in some other way. First thing I do is I simply open a blank document, and then I click on the Mailings tab at the top, and then I choose Start Mailmerge on the left side. I'm going to pick the third item down, which is envelopes. It will ask what size envelope I want. The size 10 is the standard in American postage for business, so I'll assume that's what I want and click on OK. And then I need to select my recipients. It says Select Recipients, and I'll click on Use Existing List. And then I'll navigate in my file system to find the Excel file, in this case, that I want to use for my data. And mine happens to be called Sample. I'll click on that and open it, and it will open my table. And it says the first row contains the headers. That's true. I'll click on OK. Now I have my data. The next thing I need to do is click anywhere near the bottom of my open screen, and I'll see a box, an empty box. This is where the address will go. But I need to insert something in there called an address block. So I click on the address block at the top. Now here it's looking at some issues it already found. It found a name, found a state, and a zip code. Now sometimes the fields it's looking for are labeled differently in my spreadsheet than they are as it looks in Microsoft Word. So I click on Match Fields. Now here I find out what's going on. My first name was not matched. My field called Name was matched. Now in this case, my name field is both first and last name, so it's fine. But notice I don't have an address 1. I'll click on the down arrow, and I called it Street 1. I didn't have an address 2. I'll call it Street 2. I also didn't have a city, and you notice because there's a space in front of the C for city, so it didn't recognize it. So I'll click over here. So now I've fixed my problems. Now it recognizes all the data in the spreadsheet. Hopefully you don't have this happen often, but if you do, that's a very easy way to solve the problem. I'll click on OK, and now if I look here, I find that I have a pretty good address label in my preview window. If I click the right arrow, I go to the second record, and the next arrow I go to my third record. They look pretty good, so I'll just click on OK. Now it just says address block. I can leave it like this and go ahead to finish and merge, but if I'm curious, I can click on the preview results up in the toolbar at the top, the ribbon, and then it will give me the actual appearance of each of the records, and I can go through 2, 3, or 4 of them, as many as I have in my spreadsheet. So here are some of my examples. I can turn this on or off by clicking Preview Results. Then the next option is just Finish and Merge, and I'm going to choose the Print Documents. This is what will send the documents to the printer. And then I'm going to click on OK, and now it opens the settings for my printer. Yours may be different. What you often need to do is make sure that you're printing to the proper place for your envelope. You may have to click on the Properties. Here I would have to set the information from a letter, and I'm not going to go ahead and do that here because my printer is probably not your printer, but you would adjust the settings here and then click OK, and then you click OK here, and it will go ahead and print. So that's all you need to do to print directly on envelopes a whole host of unique names and addresses in Microsoft Word.